Casino employees. What is the worst you have ever seen someone handle a loss? I worked security at a casino for a few years. The job was a mix of watching the crowds, checking cameras, making sure nobody caused trouble, and occasionally talking to regulars who came through day after day. Over time, I got to know a few of these regulars. One of them was an older gentleman I'll call Tom, just to keep things private. Tom was a kind, quiet man who came in almost every day. He usually played the slot machines, spending between $200 and $300 most visits. I'd struck up a few conversations with him over the years. He wasn't the kind of person who talked much about himself, but he was always polite and had a calming presence. I liked seeing him around. One day, Tom came in and something about him was different. I'd seen him nearly every day for years, and this day he looked really off. There was a heaviness in his expression I'd never seen before. He moved slower, and his eyes didn't have their usual spark. I didn't say anything at first, just kept an eye on him from a distance. As hours went by, I watched him sit at the slot machines, but this time, his bets were unusually high, $200 to $300 a spin. That was a lot for him. Normally, he was careful, but that day it seemed like he was chasing something, or maybe running away. After a couple of hours, I found a moment to catch up with him. I asked how his day was going, how the machines were treating him, just some casual conversation. That's when it hit me. He broke down. Tears ran down his face as he told me his wife had passed away the night before. Something about sudden cardiac death. He was devastated, completely shattered. I didn't know what to say. We talked for a while. I listened, just sat with him as he played the machines. It felt like the only way he knew to cope with the pain, throwing himself into something familiar, something he loved, even though it hurt. As the night wore on, I watched him closely. He kept pushing those high bets, spinning the reels like he was trying to hold onto a shred of normalcy. I didn't say anything about the money. It wasn't my place, and it seemed like this was his way of dealing with the heartbreak. I wanted to do more, but I didn't know how. Later, I saw him heading toward the exit. I ran up to him, caught his arm gently, and wished him all the best. He managed a small smile and thanked me for the condolences. That was the last time I saw him in the casino. A few days later, some other staff who were friends with Tom's family told me he had booked a room at the casino hotel that night. They told me he spent every dime he had on the slot machines, betting high stakes until there was nothing left. And then, tragically, he took his own life. Hearing that broke something inside me. I kept replaying the day in my mind. The tears, the desperate bets, the way he seemed so lost. I kept thinking about what I could have done differently. Maybe I should have invited him out for coffee, or tried to connect him with someone who could help. But mostly, I remember a man who was in so much pain that even the thing he loved, the place he came to every day, wasn't enough to keep him here. It's a story I think about often. A reminder that sometimes the worst losses are the ones no one sees coming.